Hello, hello again. Our presentation right now concerning evaluating Romanian fungi using IUCN criteria. So it's a short one, it's not as the previous, because the previous is just a history and more about how we can conserve and raise the awareness of people concerning fungi. But here we are going directly about facts about Romania. Romania lies in the southeastern Central Europe, bordering the Black Sea, between Bulgaria, Ukraine, and it also borders Hungary, Serbia, and Moldova. Area is about 2,380 kilometers square, the population about 20 million people. So, conservation of nature in Romania. How many protected areas in Romania? There is
about 800.
About 800. The total surface of protected areas in Romania, included in the law number 5 for 2000 year, regarding national terrestrial planning for national protected areas, about 5.1% of the total area of the country. So, I think it is, as Adrian mentioned, it's about 800. Hotspots area in Romania, according to Carpathian project, need emergency conservation attention. We need to do that because it's a project and
Yes, it is okay.
okay.
It's a line.
It's a line.
Okay.
So, Carpathian project mentioned that some hotspot areas in Romania need conservation attention. Why? Fungal conservation in Romania is very similar to fungal conservation in Egypt. If we back to Misheri. If we back to Misheri, conservation parameters, the same situation in Romania as the same in Egypt, but as I told you, we did it finally there. Ex situ conservation of fungi in Romania is scarce, just 2 culture collection recorded in Romania. So, big country with very, very, very biodiverse habitats, just 2. Look at this. No updated checklist or estimates of Romanian fungi. If we ask anyone, he said 8,500 or maybe 9,000. Yeah. But we have no updated checklist published concerning that.
Few mycologists.
Yes, I know few mycologists. You discussed that with me, but we have even young, energetic mycologists. He can do that. He can do that. We turn it all for that.
Younger and restless.
So also the same question: why fungi is still treated as orphan of rare in Romania? So I don't know. Let's try Romanian as a case study. Romania just 62 record. What? Egypt 74 and Romania 62? Sandbox 74 and Forest just 62?
It's a smaller country than Egypt.
4 times more.
But no desert here, okay? So we need to change this idea. So here is Romania also. No fungi, a red list of IUCN criteria. Also the same problem. So, who is fungi? Status of fungal biodiversity in Romania, all fungi database websites and reports ignored or overlooked what have been done in Romania since 1997. It is a big problem, maybe due to the language. and the translation, maybe. But they overlooked what have been done. Professor Adriana Pope, working on biodiversity with Professor Tanasi, and here some of her publication,
Negran.
and Negran too, I know, and I mean, she published something, a short report on the fungi conservation in Romania. What? In 1998, and no one up till now knows that Romania, one of the leader countries for conservation of fungi. How it come? How it come? So, not fair. It's not fair, indeed. So how we can change that? We need updated database. We needed this published work to be very, very valid for people to send it to David Mentor in his email, to send that for Bedrock Ross, Michael Bank, to send that to Arab Society for Fungal Conservation, to put and check the spot on the what have been done in Romania. Right? Okay. Professor Tanasi. Red list of Romanian macrofungi species. What the hell? He published that in 2005. Where is that in IUCN data? Nothing. Where is that even in websites?
It's a project of Romanian Academy.
Yeah. So he already do a great work concerning fungal conservation. Europe Council for the Conservation of Fungi. Red list of as PDF. Where is Romania? Nothing. Even Professor Tanasi published of his work in newsletter of European Council for Conservation of Fungi, achievement and the perspective in the preservation of Macromycetes diversity in Romania. How it come? It's overlooked, ignoring of Romania. So it's your role to shed the light on Romanian fungi. It's not my role. It's my first visit to Romania, and it's very hard to make a presentation about great country like yours and about what have been done.
Excuse me. The problem, where is France? Where is Italy?
Yes, I mean, it's overlooked.
Because in France and Italy, it's a great specialist in fungi.
Yes.
From Europe and
Greece.
no, France first,
Yes,
second
France.
perhaps
Yes.
Italy, and
Yes.
no, here it's
Something.
also problem.
Yes. On the other hand, any database.
Excuse me, mycopolitical
issue. Yes.
perhaps.
Yes, sure.
Mycopolitical
I agree with you.
problems.
Yeah.
Problems.
I agree with you.
David Minter with a French mycologist, Italian, German.
Yes.
Yeah, here it's problem.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Yes. I know that from him individually. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Any database of Romanian fungi.
Gabriel Legrand, not
Yes,
not
sure.
Let me do that. And then I want that.
So, database of Romanian fungi, either fragmentary and distributed among literature, dissertation, books, and compilations. What is the role of young energetic mycologist? Then, after 10 years, you can't got any fund concerning fungi from any agency if you don't start right today or maybe yesterday. Okay? Checklists are important tool in taxonomy, systematics, and the conservation, as many authors mention that. In spite of that, several important areas lack recent checklists, including Romania and Egypt, sure. Any updated checklist? No. No updated checklist. Maybe dated back to the past century. in 1989, in 1995, or so. What about Dr. Gavril Nigrian database and the role of Mycological Society of Romania? I hear from Tiberius there is a trend in Mycological Society of Romania to start with Professor Gavril Nigrian to start to update his data to digitalizing it. It will be great effort if you do that soon. What about the data structure? You need to check this website concerning data structure of David Minter and data structure for biological recording to make your data in a good way, solid, hard, complete. You need to check this website. Okay? It's a very important website to how you can make your data and associated organisms with it. It is not fungus only. What is the role of young mycologists in the documentation of Romanian natural heritage? What is the role? We need that. We need to concentrate on young mycologists or amateur mycologist or even undergraduate student at any level. We need to attract them to know what is meant by fungi. Is there any recent estimation of mushroom overcollection? Romania already one of the countries in which mushroom and medicinal mushrooms over-collected every year. No recent estimation may be concerning that. So, if you are going that, Professor Nigrian, Vera Buntia, about 2 volumes of the book concerning the fungi, parasitic and saprophytic fungi of Romania, and another book concerning the Bielinomycetes spherealis in Romania, maybe old one in 1974. And there is a study published in 2011, Social Network of Wild Edible Fungi Collectors and their implications for conservation. It's already published online. You can have it and you can make your data update.
I don't know, Andrea Gaitan.
I mean, me too.
It's Romanian mycologist? No.
Yes.
I don't know.
No, it is. He is working for maybe.
A minister.
Maybe.
It's not mycologist.
Yes. Maybe. It is not a study. It's a master thesis. It's a thesis.
For information.
Yes.
Yes.
I will send it. Yes, I will send it. Thesis for you.
In Romania, it's she ate mushroom. Ate mushroom.
Only.
Only.
Yes, yes, okay.
Only.
Okay.
Only. Only.
Yeah, sure. Threats to Romanian fungi, climate change, human population growth, overlapping.
Degrowth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Overlapping of rural area with protected areas. It's a major problem.
Yes.
Yes. 2
Not
days ago we went to
Dobrovac.
yes, and I think the rangers there playing a great role in cutting the trees.
Yeah.
Yes, a good role.
because the mushrooms.
Economic status of Romania after the global economic crisis make anyone going to overconnect mushroom to sell it. So, problem. Vulnerability of Black Sea to pollution. You will lost a lot of your marine and marine derived fungi. And sure you know what is the difference between marine and marine derived fungi.
The marine fungi is other specialty.
Yes, marine fungi is the organisms or fungi able to grow, reproduce, and complete their life cycle in marine habitat only.
Yeah.
But marine derived fungi, they are transferred from terrestrial habitat into water. You can find Aspergillus niger in the water. You can say it's marine derived. It came transferred by air. Permitting and there is a corruption basic checklist of fungi and have huge numbers of undescribed species. You have to do that. But where are you know it is undescribed species? If you don't have your database. You need to have database. You need that database. Okay? Lakes of fund for collection and Fungaria, lakes of fund from government for private collection, basic mycology as plants. So I think here in the botanical garden we have herbarium. We need just to put Fungarium part of herbarium. It's okay.
We
It's
have.
okay.
We have.
Infrastructure.
We have fungarium
Yes.
in faculty,
Yes.
in our faculty.
Yes. Public awareness of fungal conservation, very low, and a lot of education is necessary. So I think right now, in my previous PowerPoint presentation, you already take the impression what Abdelazim and his team did in Egypt to raise the national. By different means, TV meeting, newspaper, protest, you can do that easily. Here's the overlapping of rural areas with protected areas in Romania. What about zinc? Okay. Red list and IUCN, you need to know what is a red list. A list of certain species already. Any red list is a list of certain species and analysis of population status based on data of species, based on data of species. Data of species. All the time we need data of species, distribution, ecology, and trend aim at evaluate the risk of extinction of species. What will happen after 10 years? We can using a special programs for that looks like regression analysis. We can expect what will happen in the next 20 years for a species of fungi. Provide important information on biodiversity. So important tools for making nature priorities. IUCN red listing system. IUCN is the International Union for Conservation of Nature and is the focal point of global biodiversity action. Internationally accepted and used system for evaluating animals, fungi and plant and applicable at any geographical level. It is most important thing. I know it's very hard for mycologists before to make a checklist, a red list of fungi and applying IUCN criteria, but right now it's, I think, easy, and both of Greg Muller and Dahlberg from Sweden got a fund from Mohammed bin Zayed for a global initiative for IUCN red list. IUCN red list categories and the criteria were developed for use at the global level. Okay? They can also be used at regional and national levels. Provided guidelines of application of IUCN red list criteria at regional levels are followed. Free download from IUCN red list, and you can find it here in the website if you like to download the guidelines if you like. Here, from global to sub-global, here if we have continent, looks like Africa, where I came from, countries, states, province, biogeographical or ecological area, we can go through it to make red listing. Okay? Regional population may range across political borders, and as Professor Tanasi, fungal conservation is still a political issue till now. You can maybe astonish if a regional population may be range across political borders. Here, a species on the border between two enemies, between Egypt and Israel as example. I can go there to study and cannot conserve it, and he also cannot. It's a political issue, okay? But fungus don't interested in politics at all. Fungus need conservation. On the other hand, taxon may be highly mobile, and the individuals may move between population within and outside the region. Some species come through the borders and back and vice versa. According to the climate change, if it appear or disappear, if it over-collected, and so it's another problem. Taxon may be a non-breeding seasonal visitor to the region. I mean, if we talk about a bird, looks like example, if it come and back, he is not breeding here, he's just wintering, overwintering in this area. So, region may hold a very small proportion of the global population. Yeah. Very, very, very small, but very small population. So, survival of the regional population may depend on immigration from outside the region. It's immigration from here to there. Very small population migrated. As example, regional population is a thing. So, we will need to know what is introduced taxa. Is the taxa originally native, endemic, or it is introduced due to what I mentioned before? If it in the border, go and back, or it's native, so you need for all of this data to know that. What were being studied in Romania 400 years ago, as example, how many species already mentioned there, and what is updated status right now, who is disappeared and who is appearing. Is it Romanian or maybe become Egyptian species? Two additional categories are included for regional assessment, not applicable, regionally extant. Therefore, at the regional level, there are 11 categories. 11 categories for all regional assessment. They are extant in the wild, critically endangered, vulnerable, near threatened, less concerned, data deficient, not evaluated. I think the majority of not evaluated, and the other two. What information is needed? Population size, including estimation of unrecorded cases. We need to do that. Indeed. And if anyone interested in applying the criteria already with you, I think we are going to fill the trip in 18th of this month. 18th or 15th.
Ești la teren pe 18.
Perhaps.
15 to 18th?
No.
Între 15 și 18 sau între?
Yes.
15, yes. So we can apply that in the field.
In National Park Chapter.
După ce terminați cu zona aceea, nu?
Mergem și dăm jos.
Yeah.
So we can apply that. So if anyone interested, we can go through that.
Yeah, this national.
We needed to know population trend, meaning, is it associated with a certain kind of wood? Is it associated with it is ectomycorrhizal fungi? It is associated with a kind of petals? It is a population trend. Generation length, assessment period. How many years you are going to make your assessment? 1 year, months. Sometimes you need 50 years. Red listing step by step, too little information, taxonomic uncertain, low taxonomic range, common species not declining, evaluate, estimate current population size. So, one of the major important things is estimate current population size for us. We need to know the estimation, the population size right now in any forest, in any national park, how fungi status there, how it looks like. number of localities, including unrecorded number. You can go through the national park and making mini belt and quadrants and going through that to collect your data. Translate into estimate of mature individual. Characterize ecology of the species. It is one of the important things. The ecology sheet of each species. You need to have that with you to fill it with your data. The ecology of each species meaning associated with what? Associated with different organisms or just on wood. Are you isolated it from soil or from leaf, and this leaf is associated with other betel? You need the web. Okay, so what I mentioned in 2 slides or 4 slides before, data structure. That is the data structure file of David Mentor. You know, you need to check it well. Status and the trend of potential habitat. How is the status of the habitat? Contaminated, polluted, great. How is the status? So, if we are going through this mission, we need a guy or a girl specific to record the habitat. He is responsible for all the data of the habitat, temperature, air temperature, soil temperature, how's the status, pollution, humidity, it's habitat data, and substrata for the species over time. You can discover some fungi, saprobic fungi is going to grow on logs. Sometimes, after that, after 10 years, you can find it transferred into growing on paper, on cellulose materials. So you need to follow up substrata over time, what will happen in our planet by our pollution system. Exclude, not evaluated, too limited knowledge to make any evaluation, and not applicable, recently introduced or unclear taxonomy. Some species with unclear taxonomy, or we said incertacetus. It's incertacetus, so not applicable so. Yes. Data deficient, meaning data insufficient for classification. Classification according to IUCN criteria, not taxonomy. So, if you're going through your red list assessment here, you will find about 10 papers concerning everything about the fungus under assessment. Red listing, is this only for macrofungi? No. You can apply it for microfungi. You can apply it on microfungi, but you need data about that. If I have a book concerning air fungi in Romania,